I started out getting out of high school and going into undergrad thinking I wanted to be a engineering major. And then I started to, doing that, you have to take a lot of math classes. And then through the math classes, I actually figured out that mathematics is what I wanted to do because I just kept asking questions. Okay, where does this come from? Where does this come from? How do I go deeper? What do And so once I switched my major, I just started getting really deep into the math classes, started to meet the faculty, started to, become familiar with them. And yeah, it just became a good relationship after that. But the master's level, really, it was more for my program. The master's level was it was just a natural continuation of what I was doing. So it just felt like I just kept going as far as the undergrad degree was concerned, and that it was just in such an easy transition. And they wanted me there, and they were willing to give me funding. So it really was a no-brainer. When I started the program, I had just come back from Australia from a study abroad. And a friend of mine who we went to undergrad together, and he had started the program, he approached me while I was finishing up my BS, and he said that there is this baseball project that the dean and Dr. Okafor and the chair are interested in. And what it was it's a sabermetrics competition held at the SABR conference, so the Society of American Baseball Research, and it's a case study where they pose a case to you and you have to use quantitative methods to solve whatever the problem is. And you have to be able to back it up and justify it and give some type of a business argument as well, of course. But for the most part, we approached it purely as a mathematics problem. And that was one project that I took on as a master's student. I got a chance to work with 4 other graduate students. We got to travel to Phoenix to present our work at the conference, at the competition. And yeah, so that was probably one of the more interesting things that I got to do as far as projects go. The funding for our program, pretty much, I graduated right after the school got its name changed to Hal Marcus, and after that they started bringing in more students, more graduate assistants. So they were able to give us me and 15 other students that were on campus in the master's program. What would they call it? It's a matriculation waiver. So you have 2 classes which are completely funded for, which is your full-time amount anyways. So each semester 2 classes paid for, but in return you do TA work for the most part. You work in a tutor lab or you grade papers, and then once you've gotten enough credits under your belt and the faculty feels comfortable with you, you end up teaching some courses as well. So I actually started working in the tutoring lab in undergrad, and I worked in the tutoring lab in other colleges as well. What it is it's just a resource set up for students to come in and ask us any questions regarding any of their courses, any of their mathematics courses. And the work that you do when you're dealing with courses, usually it's a 1,000 level class, so a freshman level class, and you are, for the most part, given some instruction as to, okay, you have to do this, this, and this. But for the most part, it's you teach the class the way you're going to teach the class. And there's lecturers and instructors there to guide you along the way. But for the most part, the class is entirely yours. Oh, the other thing that I also did was workshops. So the mathematics department, to try and get students more engaged and try and get students more involved and get them more help, they've started doing specified workshops. So it's a workshop. It's sort of like a natural extension on a lecture where you come in and there's usually some pre-planned work that goes along with where you are in the lecture at the moment. And you work through that and you're able to ask any questions that you want regarding, whether it's one thing you didn't understand or whether it's just you want to have more help on a certain concept. All of that can be asked in a workshop environment. And it's not so much a professional one-to-one, or it's not so much that you're going to be stuck, with somebody lecturing at you. It's more of a dialogue between you and the workshop leader.